Let's go to the second reason why this is not a double standard and women are not applauded for catching bodies. Wombs can be polluted. And nobody's gonna applaud a place where babies are actually formed, as they are our generational future, if it's treated like a dumpster or a graveyard. We don't give a standing ovation to toxic environments for children outside of the womb. Why would we do it for the inside? And one could argue that a toxic environment inside the womb is more dangerous. Because relative to toxic environments, everything outside the womb has to deal with culture that can be learned and unlearned through repetition. But inside the womb, if a mother is smoking crack or cigarettes while she's pregnant, that damage is done. Brain damage and birth defects don't go away. You have literally crippled somebody for life. Side note, fellas, this is why it is extremely important for you to protect your seed. Because setting aside the complications of child support, a seed placed in the wrong womb might not even make it out. See, women often like to talk about how important their birth-giving role is to humanity. What they don't like to talk about is how intrinsically and inextricably linked that role is to their promiscuity. Yeah, multiple sexual partners trashes that womb and makes it increasingly more difficult to procreate. So while simp men like to pander to you and tell you they support your sexual liberation, just understand they're only thinking with their small head. Because logically, we know that doesn't make for great wives and or great mothers. Just look at the culture. Most of the women that are single mothers have engaged somewhere in their past in a hot girl summer. No, I'm not saying all, and not to be anecdotal, but the 304s I went to college with generally didn't return after spring break. Ah, yes, I remember those fine days when it was actually shameful to have a child with somebody that you didn't know or didn't want to be a father. In addition, studies have established that women have a higher biological risk for contracting STIs and HIV than men, with a higher probability of transmission from men to women than vice versa. So not only do you have a higher probability of contracting STIs or STDs, but you also have a higher probability of spreading it. You got a lot more going on down there. I mean, just from a real estate standpoint, a man's exposed opening is tiny, whereas a woman's exposed opening is a lot larger, giving infection a lot more space to develop and mature. This is why you all sexual health consists of a pap smear and there is no male equivalent. You know how many women are walking around with chlamydia or gonorrhea right now and don't even know it? Whereas for men, the moment you see that green drip or feel that itch, it's time to go get that pill cycle. Otherwise, you alright. But quit slanging pipe everywhere and next time slap a bag on it, boy. Damn it. You remember right back there where I said women have a higher probability of spreading it? Well, it's predicated on the point I just made. You might not even know you have it. Once again, because you got a lot going on down there. So this is not a double standard. We expect women to do their best at protecting themselves as we are tasked with protecting them as well. And 304s are not to be protected. We'll let the bad men trash your womb if you allow them to because you didn't listen to the good men. The reason women think this is a double standard is because they have ingested the mantras of feminism that stipulate if a man appears to have an advantage, he must. But if you can keep in your mind the understanding that women that claim to be feminists or practice feminist ideology really don't care about men, then you'll understand why it is that they don't look at the disadvantages and responsibilities that come with this perceived power. Don't be like that. Be better than those women. Critically think about things from a male and female standpoint, adhesive to a cost-reward analysis and benefit system, so that way you can procure a husband one day and laugh at their ass because they bitter single and alone. Because to be honest, as a man, being applauded for having multiple sexual partners doesn't happen as often as you think it does. We even shamed out of our own celebrations. Bars.